looking for here. Speaking here. 대 페페 주로라 지도 탐지들이 정말 다시들이 조이데 탁시 타른 모는 페비오레 타니산의 페미도 저 로만 닝바 남망시레 지는 어떤 사바데 대 상하왕 10만 명이 되고 왕 10만 명이 왕시바 정다 가는 때 한마디로 로만은 살아남을 당초 로만 닝바 탑지들이 왕만 보시고 요리고도 냐면 뭐 저요래 내가 사바는 왕등 어쩌마 지더니 양득 말에 왕동 줄에기는 토바이 송 토바이 돼서 뭐지 저는 왕시바는 뭐 뚜래 되니 물을 못 쳤는데 상지를 민주요바 심진 상지를 멤버스 봐서 되고 뚜기 정말에
So first of all, hello Dashidela to all my Dharma friends. Some of you came from more far away, and some of you, most of you are senior disciples from the local area. But if there's someone of you who is very new to this, who has never received any empowerment of the Vajrayana, of the secret mantra, and first of all, please raise your hand because it is important to understand the meaning of the empowerment. And many of you have received many empowerments before and also engaged in practice. But if you're completely new, then it would not be okay not to give you an introduction. Because Lord Jigten Sumgön had said, only when you understand the meaning of the empowerment have you actually received the empowerment. And so the empowerment actually is an introduction, and that shows us that a precious human body can ripen into a Buddha, or a sentient being can ripen into a Buddha. And so for that, the introduction is very important. So please raise your hand if you have never received empowerment before.
난 용용이네. 전나 답이 줄록 있으면로 이거 되는 대화도 되면 답 동에서 답이 있으면 주대 체들하고서 대화도 되면 답 이 답이 줄록 되는 계와는 계와 처럼 탐지를 되니 대화도 되면 답 동에서 답 되리 이 대로 답이 줄록라는 되니 다 소타를 상징상 하섬 말씀이 요래 이렇게 기왕 하마라는 것을 안고 사축선의 양고 제총도 되는데다 시랍 제총고 왕도 되는데니 남들은 말씀 성발에 대양들이 당보매도 사용 요 드림매도 감베 드림매도 대답을 생긴 삼체로 사실은 행보 열에 샘대군이 사실은 행보 요장 그렇게 민바라더니 열람대 그래서 한 열람송 체질을 좀 상대 탑 상하가 개발되래.
So there are not so many who are completely new to this, And so, in general, there are two systems. There is the spiritual system of the Dharma, and then the worldly system. And both of these systems try to find ways to be happy and not to suffer. And so, according to the worldly system, that is only focused on this lifetime. So, in the worldly system, we try to find happiness in this life. And then, according to the religious, the Dharma system, we try to find ways to achieve happiness and be free from suffering throughout many lifetimes, from lifetime to lifetime in the future. And so, for this purpose, the Buddha taught the three levels of the path, the Pratimoksha, Bodhisattva, and the Vajrayana vehicles. And so, due to a different degree of training in bodhicitta in previous lives, we also now have different degrees of wisdom. And depending on that degree of wisdom, the Buddha taught the three levels of the path. And that is just like the continuum of a flower. So first you have the seed, and then the sprout, and then the flower bud, and then you have the flower. And so that a seed is the Buddha nature that all sentient beings possess. Since we all have a mind, we all possess Buddha nature, and that has the potential to ripen. And it ripens through the method of the secret mantra quickly. So it is referred to as the quick or the swift path. It is the Vajrayana is a method to attain enlightenment in a single lifetime, a single body.
조바 파신 쪽 쪽네들이 제가 망부지리 설계하래. 이 상하는 다 상축을 쓰는 보지 줄을 지리 되니 다다 되니 랑기 리지 박차 용어를 제름 마가 박차 용어를 되니 나 대바 되니 지금 봐지 되니 대형 난 리지 박차 용어를 제름 용어는 되게 들었지 스스로가 이제봐 다 연구 요래 난 하고 잘하지는 하고 콜라지는 하고 잘하지는 되니 난랑게 하고 다동 지지 또봐 제시들이 습자인데 마양 다 요래 냠데 이 대외 체질 위주로 상계거든요 rapado tambo 진정 봐도 니바 타마 봐도 순발 상계하다 봐 대답을 람 예를들어서 한년 람송 이제도 왕시 봐도 라만이 말이 저는 라만 당보대 산족 세계랑 나징이 봐도 이왕 기배네 대 이왕의 성리 이 유몽적고 왕도 요리 선대적인 거네 유몽적고 왕도 성리들이 노아를 두고 참는 거요 내가 이왕기인데 이왕 탐제 등에 대해서 라만 강연하더니 산속을 쓰는 보지 줄들이 라만 통고들 라만 통에 유목과 독대 80쪽을 라면 돈에 들이 내가 좀 받아 저선 라소발에 되네 소리가 들이 타도 삼진인데 시랍을 되네 들이 타도 사지에 공방 토야 데이터를 지내더니 데이터다 산속 생나반이를 지내더니 라왕님 바지 데리들 왕들 라왕님 바지 체질 위주로 더니 다다 산속 생구 생기라마 통면 루지 박차 용하나 제런서 마 박차 용하들이 마대바 대상하고 통만이 봐 늘람 대속을 요래 그 생구라왕님 바지 바지 정이 산속 생매로 상하래요 이렇게 받는 거요 말이
So the difference between the sutras and the tantras is the empowerment. And so in the sutras we also cultivate, first we cultivate a renunciation to samsara, and then we develop the precious bodhicitta. And then with that we practice the 6 paramitas and attain enlightenment throughout after several lifetimes of practicing. And then according to the Vajrayana, we also give rise to the precious bodhicitta, that is the same. But in the Vajrayana also we purify the imprint of the body through the practice of the generation stage, and then we purify the imprint of the speech through the mantra recitation, and then the samadhi of this mantra recitation and visualization. And so by doing that, we purify also the inner imprint of the body through the visualization of the generation stage. And when we do that, we also purify the grasping to the outer forms. And then by reciting the mantra and through the mantra garland, we purify the imprints of the speech, the grasping at the ordinary speech. And then likewise, we also purify the grasping at the outer sounds that we hear. And that is the skillful means to attain enlightenment in a single life, in a single body. And then ideally, according to the Vajrayana, we attain enlightenment in the first bardo, or in the second bardo, or in the third bardo. So that is why the secret mantra is referred to as the swift path. And then the empowerment also means to gain a sort of a freedom, power. And the first freedom of power that we actually attain is that of bodhicitta. Because through bodhicitta, we destroy self-grasping. And it is because we grasp at a self that we are controlled by the afflictions. Because we are in the grip of self-grasping, we are controlled by the 6 afflictions, although we possess Buddha nature. And as a result, we wander in the 6 realms of samsara. It is said that all lack of self-control has the nature of suffering. So the first self-control or freedom we attain through cultivating the precious bodhicitta. And then on the basis of that, if there is bodhicitta, then the 6 afflictions will become the 6 paramitas. And then temporarily, through the practices of generosity, ethical discipline, and so on, we achieve the happiness of the higher realms. And then ultimately, by practicing meditation and cultivating wisdom, we attain the state of enlightenment. So ultimately, we attain freedom by cultivating the twofold bodhicitta. So the empowerment is a means to attain such freedom, to attain enlightenment in a single life, in a single body. And that freedom is ultimately based on the precious bodhicitta. And then in the secret mantra, on the basis of bodhicitta, then we also purify the imprints of the body through the generation stage, and the imprints of the speech through the mantra recitation. So these are the special qualities of the secret mantra of the Vajrayana, and which is why it becomes the swift path. But in terms of the freedom of the mind, which is the precious bodhicitta, the sutras and the tantras are actually the same. And so therefore, if we practice the Vajrayana without bodhicitta, then this practice is of not much benefit. So it is most important to engage the practice of Vajrayana on the basis of the precious bodhicitta.
사지 까는 somebody 딜리시들 사지 까체만 송고요리 두 번째 대송고가 송을 까상가면 록도 이죠 까상 등고요 까상 등고요리 대외 다다 좀마서 알더니 다 sem저 좀마디 산적 생각을 요리 일루저 좀마 제런을 사람 나도 좀마 다디는 좀마디 들이 나대 발라서 막 달아지네 들이 자동들이 또 봐서는 들이 누가 있으면 로버를 마다부터 맞서도 산 이또 봐서요 송도 딱부지를 이제 민속고 요리 대산적 생절하고 사지 이 단지가나도 노알도 내갑대다 차대요리 이제 주민들 안에 받으시 좋게 전부요리 대신들이 줄 대통령이요 말 그 심기 상태로 사지를 쪄요 봐시는 소리요 말이 다 주로 장이 나다 주 다진이 지나서 봤던지 매번 보고 요리 대시 좋게 전부를 해야지.
And so then first it is important that we understand the relationship between the deity from whom we receive the empowerment, the Vajra master who confers the empowerment, and then the disciple who receives the empowerment. And so it is that the mental continuum of the deity, the master, and the disciple, and actually all sentient beings is the same. And that mental continuum is Buddha nature, or in the Samantabhadra prayer, it is referred to as the single basis. The Buddha said, Buddha nature pervades all beings. And also the Buddha said, within all sentient beings there is the Buddha. And so then one might object and think, oh, sentient beings are not Buddhas because we all suffer in the 6 realms of samsara, and as animals and humans and so on, there is great suffering, so we are not really Buddhas. But so here it is important to understand the qualities of Buddha nature. And if you understand these qualities, you understand that the mental continuum of all beings is the same. So to begin with, the first connection that we have is that mental continuum of Buddha nature, which is like an electricity line, like a light line through which we are connected. And then the second way in which we connect is through attaining mental freedom by cultivating bodhicitta. So now we are controlled by afflictions. So the Buddha said, although all beings are Buddhas, they are temporarily obscured. And what obscures them is self-grasping and the afflictions. So temporarily there is a manifestation of humans and animals and all the countless sentient beings in the 6 realms and the 3 lower realms and so on. However, all those beings possess Buddha nature, and that basis of Buddha nature never changes. So that is important to understand. And then the Buddha also said, when these temporary obscurations are cleared away, then all beings are actually Buddhas. So that is the actual authentic word of the Buddha that we can trust in. And Jigten Somgon also said, a practice that is contrary to the words of the Buddha is a practice holding a wrong view or misconception. So all practices, Buddhist practices, must agree with the words of the Buddha. And it actually, what we are mentioning here, does agree with the words of the Buddha. So those temporary stains to be cleared away are the stains of the mind that are cleared away by bodhicitta. Then the stains of the body are cleared away through the generation stage, and the stains of the speech, the grasping to speech, is cleared away through the mantra recitation. And in this way, we clarify the temporarily impure ordinary body, speech, and mind, and transform it into the enlightened, pure body, speech, and mind of the deity. So we become the illusory form of the deity. So beings can ripen. We can ripen into that state of the deity. The manifestation of bodhicitta is the Buddha, enlightenment. The manifestation of self-grasping are the 6 realms of samsara temporarily. So first it is important to understand that single basis, and that the basis of our mind, the basic nature of mind, is ever unchanging. And if you understand that, you will become free of all doubts. If you understand that all beings possess this nature, they all possess Buddha nature, then there will be no bias in your mind. Then there is no grasping at good or bad dharma. Then there is no grasping at me and you. And there's no dualistic grasping if you only understand that all beings possess the same Buddha nature. And so although the Buddha taught 84,000 different Dharma teachings, ultimately they gather into a single meaning, and that is the two-fold truth, the two truths. So first there is the relative truth of karma, the infallibility of karma, cause and effect. And so that is where the Buddha taught that the only cause of happiness is the precious bodhicitta, and the cause of suffering is self-grasping. And so if we understand that and we give up this cause of suffering and we cultivate the cause of happiness, the precious bodhicitta, then we will realize the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth. And so first we must understand the relative, the conventional truth of karma. And we practice virtue, we give up non-virtue. And so what that means is all non-virtue actually comes from a selfish mind. So anything that we do with a self-grasping mind is non-virtuous, unvirtuous. And whatever we do with an altruistic mind is a virtuous action. So the altruistic mind is a mind of love and compassion, and that is like warmth. And the self-grasping mind is like ice. So we learned that already first when we take the refuge vow. When we take the refuge vow, we first encounter this warmth of love and compassion. And when then ultimately the ice block of self-grasping has melted, it becomes one with the ocean. And that is to attain enlightenment. And at that point one sees the ultimate truth, or the non-dual primordial wisdom. And so the Vajrayana, the secret mantra, is a method to realize this ultimate truth. If we do not understand the ultimate truth, then we perceive a duality of self and others. The various phenomena of samsara, in this worldly phenomena, we see it all in this dualistic way, appearing as separate entities. But ultimately, when we realize how things really are, we realize that everything is non-dual. We can understand that by understanding the nature of space. Within space, there is no duality, no division. And the Vajrayana, the secret mantra, is a method to understand that, to realize that. And that also must be based on the precious conventional bodhicitta of love and compassion. And if it is based on that, then all the practices will bear the same results. So all the practices which are based on bodhicitta are for the sake of ultimately realizing the ultimate truth. And in order to realize that, the Vajrayana is a swift, a quick path.
저는 거기서 왕 거기서니 아버지로 뭐 왕이 애들 강의도 집중로 말이 집중로 말이 주거 염치 뭐 롱고도 제가 별마 주거 집중로 말이 주거 시바든 이제 뭐를 무슨 패비요래 제외는 적당 슬라이 시바 되는데다 자와 참지 시롱 제이지 시바 참지 소소 쪽발이 돈이 이제 손지 쪽발 특소를 세일라 운동 상징이 차로 드라마다 시와타 초포 몰라서 망 여비 망보요는 낭낭 투소들이 직발이 자와상지 실용도 제지 드리미스메 이시 나파타 죽은 나파타더니 라미 종구요래 로그자 총답에서 고도상지 진처럼 나서봐 ኛ음들린 법감이 제 마시가 강에 연구요 오 사직 냠스는 틱사노도 왕 자주라 사직 냠이 제네 사이시바 탐제 대사는 냠이 제네 애들은 그래요래 사직 인주부터 당선 냠이 제네 왕자 같이 쉬는 이제 동다를 켜비요래 놀람 같으니 소종소 말람 같으니 소종소 왕기 왕만 보시는 데 사직 남이 되는 그거에 지지는 거서 강에 좀 그거에 다 왕만 보셔서 여기는 클라리리 냠이 제고 송요래 그 왕을 루튼데레 옛날에 뒤 정말은 왕만 보셔요. 문제도 클라리리 머리 좀 세거는 왕직 수 사직 보면 되게요. 정말 사상도 다 망종을 그 망령도 이봐요 말이 이러는 게 심지 남자서 막 와이세라다도 사직에 왕들도 다 망보송에 양사이 봐도 소소하게 마시나 이렇게 하고 있는 거예요. 저렇게 있지 뭐를 사직인지 면 남자라니 이 왕만 보시는 사실도 소소하게 와이 마하고 그래지.
And so the deity, the empowerment deity of today is Achi. It is an empowerment of Achi Chokyi Drolma, who actually is Tara by nature. So the Dharmakaya form is the great mother, the Dharmakaya great mother. The Sambhogakaya is Vajrayogini, and the Nirmanakaya is the nature of Tara. And so the Nirmanakaya is a form that appeared in the human world. But ultimately, all those deities are wisdom beings, and therefore they are one. It is said within the expanse of primordial wisdom, all the Buddhas are one. And so that expanse within which all Buddhas are one is that union of emptiness and compassion. That is the life essence, the mind essence of all the deities. So on the outer level, the deities appear in various forms with different body colors, implements, ornaments, and so on. Some are peaceful, some are wrathful, some are male, some are female. There are many different deities, but their mind essence is the same. Within the mind of primordial wisdom, all the deities are one. And so that is the primordial non-dual wisdom awareness. All the deities have a single mind essence, then there is nothing wrong with receiving many empowerments and practicing only one deity. So there is a great variety of deities according to the mental capacities of sentient beings. So the only important point is the way in which we practice, how we engage in the practice. And so if you understand the way to properly practice the deity, which is to understand that the mind of all deities is the same, then it is sufficient if you only practice a single deity.
사지 좀들이게 까부는 지내서 북하지 지내서 돌고서 까부고 가면들이 지내서 양지들이 좀 무슨 개랑들이 지내서 로바지 좀 개지 개랑 이 지역들이 개랑 받는 기사다 북하지 쪽으로 잡아 속지 감들 자자당 거점들이 다 좋은 보지 보러디 좀 대양지들이 좀 들어봐야지 니봐 스바드인 거를 보지 보러서는 거네들이 여기 시소자체네 들이 무슨 양지들이 좀 들어봐 다시 진지라 체체에 파체되면 대다와들이 마추가들이 삼지 맞잡아 이제 이거는 이제 분명히 속에 생기는 피마다 되게 저도 탐체들이 좀 들어봐 차디요 망고초요 킬로그램으로 맹담으로 딱해면이 돈을 생기 상태를 피마다 되었다면 딱히 이들이 좀 들어봐 샤다이서 예마테들이 포 이제 진지에 뭐지 이제 좀 마서 돈을 하고 들어봐도 삼바다 이게 설렁을 되게 되는 책임이 삼바다 이게 설렁을 되더니 이들이 좀 들어봐 얘네들 들어봐다 계속 보고요 사지 셔자도 염당 들이 빠져 보송지 감베 염자자 바자 또 남반이 대다고 같은 친구 선발을 드린 거를 보시더니 시소자 무시양 페비오에
So also, since she's an emanation of Tara, to give a brief account on Tara. And Tara is also called the mother of enlightened activities of all the Buddhas of the 3 times. So she accomplishes the enlightened activities of all the Buddhas, and also she's like their mother in this aeon, in this age. And so at this time, also in this time of our Buddha Shakyamuni, she appeared in the form of the Buddha Shakyamuni's mother, Maya Devi, who passed into the Pure Lands only 7 days after giving birth to the Buddha. So she appeared in this form in this world. And then also, the next time she appeared in this world, the Buddha Shakyamuni gave a prophecy that Chenrezig Avalokiteshvara should be the destined deity to tame the sentient beings in the land of Tibet. And when Chenrezig took on this commitment, Tara appeared promising to support his activities in Tibet. So then accordingly, Chenrezig appeared in the land of Tibet as the Dharma king Songtsen Gampo, and then Tara appeared as his supporter, his wife, the Chinese queen who brought the Chowo statue to Tibet. So that was the next time when she appeared, an emanation of Tara appeared. And then a third time, she also appeared at a time of Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava. When he came to Tibet, Tara appeared as his consort Yeshe Tsogyal, who also was an emanation of Tara. So Tara appears in many different ways. So these are just some famous names that people know. Tara is appeared in those the famous female forms, but then actually Tara also appears in many other ways in this world. Actually, any female who wishes to benefit sentient beings is an emanation of Tara. So therefore Tara appears in many inconceivable ways in this world, in many different religions and with many different names. So anyone basically who wishes to benefit sentient beings, who brings about the benefit and happiness of sentient beings, is an emanation of Tara. And likewise, any male person who is compassionate is an emanation of Chenrezig. So really, whoever has cultivated a boundless love and compassion for sentient beings is either Tara or Chenrezig. So again, in a more famous historical account, Tara appeared first as Maya Devi, the Buddha Shakyamuni's mother, and then again she appeared as the queen of the king Songtsen Gampo, actually the Chinese and the Nepali queens who brought 2 Chobo statues to Tibet. And then the third time she appeared as Guru Rinpoche's consort Yeshe Tsogyal.
Drolma ka mang de yong de lompa te ke Drolma ka mang to tri po mo tre Drolma ta kon do tri ta kon ko to sa de ke ra che bo ya ki ra thang de tri ta mang ke sar cha to ta sang se ke yo sa sa cha yo le tri ji ji ya che le de ni le jung de ta sam ba de ni ji lo so tang se ge le chu ye yo le chu ji ro ma to 这门也说当不着马头，这里去的着马头，所以这一就是这种觉得东京从红色建厂今年的这里就是这这种然后觉得东中有的，这里这种我这里这帮出来也有不可能哦，他这里的他这这种不这帮公司的这里上行的这个这种我个阿七差的有的，他当不着马。 这里去的着嘛，这里阿些的，听什么样的，一毛的这里，这种咱亲戚个也有个隔壁，他去的着嘛的，这种我好像就那叫中国的，咱不看的这个那咋都假，没话这用有的这用的这里，这着嘛说，这着嘛等下的，这夹对嘛的上，这里用的那个招儿，这。 马这个事情，区他们就拿啥子用就没话这他们这里这种个就送把个车的这里阿是区的着嘛的民生的这里差有的这边这种个就这阿讲就着嘛人这话全部这里阿是他等这里的那什么忙的有的阿这个这逻辑有的逻辑性嘛。 같이 감사사를 이제 사원하기 좋아해. 하정들이 무슨 말을 펴면 들까지인지 모르겠지.
So then regarding Achi, first of all, Achi belongs to the Jigong Kagyu lineage, and so that was actually founded by Lord Jigten Sumgön. And Lord Jigten Sumgön was the regent of the Buddha Shakyamuni and an emanation of Nagarjuna. And Jigten Sumgön was born to the clan line, like a family line of the Jura. And that was about to be, this clan lineage, this clan line was about to be interrupted. And before it was interrupted, Achi was born. And when she was born, immediately upon birth, she said the name of Tara. She said the Tara, a mantra of Tara. So that is why she first actually was called, was given the name Tara. So that was the first name she received. So Achi, Chokyi, Drolma, and the last one, Drolma, means Tara. So that was the first name she was given. And then she became quite famous as she grew up and she grew older. which was in like an area close in central Tibet, close to Lhasa. And so when she grew older, she also began to teach sentient beings with great love and compassion. So that's why the second name she received was Dharma or Chokyi. So then she was Chokyi Drolma or Dharma Tara. So that's the second name she received. And then only later on, in order to sustain the Chura family or the clan lineage, she gave birth to 4 sons. And then some generations down, from this line of sons, Chikden Somgon was born in the Chura clan lineage. And at that time, she supported the enlightened activities of Lord Chikden Somgon, and is therefore also called an emanation of Tara. So that is when she then finally, at the time of Chikden Somgon, received her last name, Achi, which is the great-grandmother. So she was the great-grandmother of Lord Chikden Somgon through the family line. So therefore she was also given that name Achi. So then finally at the time of Chikden Somgon, her name was complete, Achi Chokyi Drolma or Achi Dharma Tara. And at the time of Lord Chikden Somgon fell very ill. He fell ill with leprosy, which at that time in Tibet was the worst disease, an incurable disease. And while he was ill, he prayed to Tara, and 7 Taras appeared to him. And at that time he composed this prayer, the 7 verses of supplication for protection to Tara. And after having done so, he was completely cured from his illness. And by the blessings of that, it is said that in this lineage, in his Dharma lineage, this sickness of leprosy will not again appear. So therefore Achi became very special to the Drikung Kagyu lineage, since it was started by Lord Chikden Somgon and she was his great-grandmother. So she became the protector of the Drikung Kagyu teachings in particular. And that is also why now in the Drikung Kagyu lineage we have a very strong connection to Achi, and there are many sadhanas and so on. So that is just a brief story. We also have a historical account which is very brief and maybe not so clear, so I wanted to clarify some points of the history. So she is actually a great being, an emanation of Tara, who appeared as a human being in this world. So then I will read the historical account of this empowerment. So it is the Drolma empowerment of Achi Chokyi Drolma, the protectress of the teachings. May all sentient beings extensive as space attain the sublime state of the victorious Mother Vajrayogini. The essence of all the precious teachings of the perfectly complete Buddha is the view of Mahamudra, the meditation of the 6 yogas of Naropa, and the conduct of the single essence of the 3 vows. The foremost of all protectors of the heart essence of the teachings of the ultimate truth and of the precious teachings of Lord Drikungpa is the Dharmadhatu Samantabhadri. The Sambhogakaya are the female Buddhas of the 5 Buddha families. The Nirmanakaya is Vajravarahi. Not wavering from the 3 kayas in order to protect the teachings of the practice lineage and tame sentient beings, she appeared in the Chura clan as Achi Chokyi Drolma. Having accomplished the activities of her noble lineage, she composed her own sadhana. Not leaving her mortal body behind, she finally departed to the Dakini land of Orient. In order to protect the teachings, she manifested as the Dharma protectress Achi, protecting the teachings as a Buddha in human form. She became the chief protectress of Changjukling, the Tibetan Magadha, the main seat of the Drikung teachings. The blessings and compassion of this incomparable protectress are powerful and her enlightened activities swift.
Anarato Miba Sarva Sete Meba Yata Sarva Brahma Tata Mea Tatan Jiyam Puro
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So think that in their presence you repeat the refuge and the motivation of bodhicitta.
예든 도지 zembedo 다기 르마 이성치 드라마 마르 다지설 마미 민지 왕남조
One time in English. Lord, Chief Vajra Holder, in order to completely purify all defilements of body, speech, and mind, please bestow the ripening empowerment that ripens our mind.
왕자신아 민지 왕지와의 동권 왕자신은 네바지야 설합자 토고요 마미바 강의 와르도 신기 참지라 내도 성도 사지 교요에 무속자 좀에 버스지 참지라 내성수 세계가 성요에 얘는 성무기 물을 보지도 아치 보이지 물을 보지도 예바도 추천 주바라서 소나마티 물을 터벼요 물을 터봤는데 내도 성지사 kültren nedo kama yo gabata wa cha de yo ku yo ko pon tang de nedo ta wa cha de yo mo so ji sa han dong ha ho yo ku ta wa cha de nedo song de de na ma da song de de cha de yo ni de de yu ji ba nedo dong mo ji la ni kama yo nedo kama ta wa de nuru mo ji cha ma de ma sa wa ho ma mo yo ma de 누르지 위인이도 감독이 누르고 뭐지 이들에 답을 주던지 막 같이 오면서 막 답을 주는데 내도 그 감독이 잡아서 내마다 주는데 내도 같이 그 상계가 보는데 내도 저거 성과하는 건 정도로 이제 제발 보자면 그 영상에서 설명 유상가 왕의 동진이 하고 요리 드니데 왕주는데 초바데 레야 요리들이 운에 동치네 왕을 좋아요 보요래 이거는 라마 강근에는 왕신아 왕실에서 제발이면 왕을 합직바래 주위는 왕 도구요래 소속에 이 사람들 남칸는데 그요래 소풍은 뭐 주티요래 예치 보요래 마음이 민지 왕 소시 이게 좀 맞다 나지를 좀 맞다 그러래 누구 좀 맞다 이런 거 다 그러래 루하 있을 때 좀 데이터부터 하고는 왕동다 시주기 신고를 해야지.
So it said here the ripening empowerment. So if we understand if you receive 100 empowerments, but understand that they all are in order to ripen, and then only receiving one empowerment bears the same blessings. Receiving 100 empowerments then becomes 100 blessings. So what is it that is unripe now? It is the mind of all sentient beings in the 6 realms. Their mind is like a seed. They all possess the Buddha nature, the cause of enlightenment. For example, a little insect or a sentient being without a body in the 3 lower realms, they all have this seed of mind. But then of all those types of birth, the precious human body is very precious, and that is, first of all, we have received this precious human body because we have practiced merit of generosity, ethical discipline, and patience, and so on. So that seed of mind has encountered soil and water and has grown into a flower bud. But the flower bud is not yet opened, has not yet blossomed. And so the Vajra Master is like the blossomed flower. the Vajramaster understands the meaning of the secret mantra of the Vajrayana. And the dateem is then the seeds emerging from that flower, like a rainbow in the sky. So the continuum is the same. It is the same continuum of a flower growing. So all of us who have received the precious human body are like this not yet opened flower bud. So if you understand it that way, then we make no distinctions between I'm a Buddhist or he's not a Buddhist and so on. Anyone who possesses a precious human body with the 6 elements has a precious human body. It's the same. But then it is also important that we encounter the Dharma. If we encounter the skillful means of Vajrayana, then this flower bud will receive the rain and the sun to open up and blossom. And then when it opens up and blossoms, we attain enlightenment. And then from this one flower, countless many more seeds emerge. So it is really just like the continuum of a single flower. So think about this again and again. If that really is clear in your mind, then you really understand the meaning of secret mantra. Then an actual feeling arises when you receive the empowerment. Then the empowerment really will get some flavor. There's a feeling that arises within you. And so then it doesn't make a difference from which Lama you receive an empowerment. The blessings of any empowerment are always the same. And moreover, people also can receive the empowerment through the internet from far away, for example, because the blessings of the deity pervade space. And the Vajramaster only introduces you to the meaning of the empowerment. So that is the meaning of the ripening here. That is why it is called the ripening empowerment. So it is the ripening occurs when the obscurations of the mind are cleared away. That is when self-grasping is purified, and when the defilements of the body are cleared away through the generation stage, and the obscurations of the speech are purified through the mantra recitation. So by receiving the empowerment, in this way we ripen our body, speech and mind by purifying the defilements, the stains of our body, speech and mind. So in this way we should understand the meaning of the empowerment.
Da jamchi dekpa mege so sha rowe gela ji rang sangye changche yi ji zong sangye chu dang chong cho la chang che par de da jian qi rang yin gong ni rab zhe se chang che sem ne ji par ji chang che Chokyi Semne Jibjine Semji Tamji Daki Rongte Nyer Changchep Jumcho Yiong Jebarji Drolma Pincer Sangye Rinpoche.
In English, I take refuge in the 3 jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of sentient beings and shall hold the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dear in my heart, until attaining enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. I shall give rise to bodhicitta, having given rise to the Supreme Mind of Enlightenment. I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the Supreme Bodhisattva conduct that is pleasing to all. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings.
이제 왕강을 장도 sem치 구바지 동 강을 되나 이 탑장보데 되니 사제 투제 지내들이 소당 하서 람들은 봤는데 사제 투제 지가 람데다고 덴바리에 대해서 장보고 잡서도 sem치 그리데 소소거든요. 삼바다 hin게 나지기 뭐 삼hin게 소소 공부네 람출이 잡던 조지 우리 잡들이 삼hin게 임베 이 잡선 조지 들이 탑을 들이 너가에서 들어봤다 빨았더니 상하지에나 서봐 탑 들었더니 장도 생기 가치가 성대래.
So in all the empowerments in the beginning we take refuge and we cultivate the motivation of bodhicitta, and that is because first we remember the kindness of the Buddha who taught the 3 levels of the path of Pratimoksha, Bodhisattva and Vajrayana vehicles. So we take refuge in the Buddha, and then also we cultivate the right motivation of love and compassion, as it is an antidote to self-grasping. And that is something that we ourselves must habituate, we must cultivate. So therefore we also take refuge in the Dharma as the path, which in other words means we take refuge in love and compassion, our own love and compassion. And then on the basis of that, we rely on the skillful means of secret mantra to purify the obscurations of our body, speech and mind through the generation stage and so on. And so that is why it is so important that we always take refuge and cultivate the mind of bodhicitta when we receive an empowerment. So once Chokyi asked Guru Rinpoche, and they say that those wisdom deities are so precious and there are so many of them. Where do they actually come from? And Guru Rinpoche replied, what we call a deity is actually arising from bodhicitta. All deities appear from bodhicitta. And so therefore, although there might be tens and thousands of deities, their mind is the same. It is a bodhicitta. And so therefore, the moment you have this mind state of I want to benefit all sentient beings, that state of mind, that is the mind of the deity. And from that mind, the deity will arise. So therefore, between the body and the mind is most important. So when compassion arises, that is the deity. So that is how we should identify or recognize the deity. It is the mind that wishes to benefit all sentient beings. For example, you wish to benefit all the beings in this world and so on. So that state of mind, that mind that wishes to benefit others, think that this mind becomes the syllable Shri, a white syllable Shri. And you can visualize that in any kind of form, for example, in Tibetan or Chinese, English or your own language, it doesn't make a difference. So think about this stream and think it is white, radiant with light. And that stream is the mind of the deity. So through the practice, ultimately we want to merge our mind with the mind of the deity. So to do that, first we bring to mind, you visualize a white syllable Shri. So then now visualize this stream and hold the image of Achi that you have received in your hands, and then close your eyes and meditate on that syllable Shri. And then later, when I ask you to open your eyes, then at once look at this image of Achi and recognize Achi. Think that this is Achi, like identifying, like recognizing someone you know, that is Achi. And so then from this Shri, then slowly the full form, the complete form of the deity will appear in your mind. So when you visualize this Shri or the deity, do not think in terms of self or other, just without any thinking of that, visualize the syllable Shri.
Achi Kopala Yaldona, the Da, young make something, body semi charcoal, after cutting young Nichina, Lapsa back to semi char. This silly you shut the comedy, also around the charcoal.
So then you can open your eyes and then have this, look at the image of Achi and then have this image appear in your mind. And then repeat this again and again, again and again, close your eyes and have this image appear in your mind. And so then later when you actually practice Achi, and then whenever you close your eyes, the deity will appear to you. Or if it is just a syllable Shri, and the deity should appear. First you look at it with your eyes, and then you close your eyes and then have this image of Shri or the deity appear in your mind.
다들은 왕디께서 도마르신 말이 도마르신 그때 냠들이 르박하면들이 도마르신 르초바 이 도마다 pom바다 köt이되다 소리 찍으리 병주바리 내 나나요는 되니 pom바데 아보 도마데 야예 칸데 시바 이 도마 파티 총총도 있네요 사이 시바 담비 이 시는 나고 강가와 차을 총들이 용도 점들이 차트고 요래 또는 들 자꾸 방법 좋고 요래 또만도 로강침보다 그래 나보 자에 가게 시발 이 바데 추는 라리 시바 또는 라카리 보나들 자꾸 뭐 차마고 요요지 또만 침보 차서 나파서 차이래 들 자꾸 방법 요요지 이 봐라 라레스 좀바는 슈퍼 시바데 로항 김보는 애들이 랑베들이 구도록도 참아요리 주강 데라소바 가라들이 슈퍼 상모로 가리 보나들이 랑동은 주바임 돌면 나마요 좀 그리고 지와라들이 도마스인의 주는 기스들이 선압제들이 라이 상속성도 선압돼 도마를 텐데요래 이 제가 레비저가 트레 가리 내도 벌치 셔와서 어딜 제가 아더니 라나 원드도와 아더니 벌치 두고 도토바 레비저가 네바요래 근데 또 만나러 갔다 듣지 주민 상태 대다를 아주 사지도 똑똑하죠 dobja고 돌마고 비제를 지기서라도 소요래 아더니 다 이제바라 선압도 시바도 도만 시바 예서 저는 갑자기 제설 뭐 봐서 뭐 틈나더니 도만 그래서 자꾸 요래 잘라지 몰라더니 나거라 저도 사람들 사이시바 나도 그런 진실이 봐요래 로컴이 방아대에서 죽은 남과다를 들 로컴 자송다를 남이 진실이 봐 죽고 요래 사람들 이들이 무슨 소화다 봤다더니 자송 잡아봐만 하겠더니 선압 남고요래 되지 또는 그 사람들이 사람들이 샤대요래 데레 샤대들이 또 마스는 고소를 요복하니 이 또만 자송나가라고 위라보는 이라고 용하에서 또 바탕에 랑 사실 공무선 자송 자송다고 차송사 이들이 뭐래
So this empowerment is conferred based on the Drolma. So that is based on the Drolma, we are authorized to engage in practice. And so the Drolma and a vase, for example, or a stupa that we put on our altar have the same benefits. So often at home you put a vase or a stupa or a Drolma on your shrine, and they all have the same benefit. And the Drolma in general has 4 different qualities. The first one is the Drolma represents the immeasurable palace of the deity. So even though the Drolma is small, it is the immeasurable palace of the deity. That is, all the wisdom deities abiding in space fit into the Drolma. So the Drolma becomes actually very large then, filling up space. And then also it can be very small. So all the deities like mustard seeds then are complete within a small Drolma tomb. The first benefit is, or the first way to see the Drolma is as the immeasurable palace of the deity, which is like a large hotel. Then the second way to see the Drolma is that the Drolma also represents the deity itself. So within that hotel, or within that Drolma, many countless, hundreds and thousands of deities abide. So the Drolma becomes large and many deities abide within that. So the Drolma also is the deity. And then thirdly, the Drolma also is an offering. Just like in a big hotel, there are many sense pleasures, there are many enjoyments like swimming pools and food, and so you can think whatever you're wishing for. The Drolma is filled with various offering gods and goddesses that bestow all sorts of sense pleasures. So it is an offering. And then the fourth benefit, or the fourth way of seeing the Drolma is the Drolma also represents a blessing. So at the end of the empowerment, we normally eat part of the Drolma dough, and then that dough that we eat is the blessing. Because the bodhicitta of the deity has melted into the Drolma. So then when we eat part of it, then we receive the blessing. And also the blessing is the four enlightened activities that are then accomplished through this practice. So the pacifying activity that pacifies illness, all harm and obstacles and so on. And then the increasing activity that increases merit and lifespan and so on. And the overpowering activity that overpowers all desirables in this universe. And then the subjugating activity that subdues various obstacles and all sorts of harm, any sorts of hindrances. So today, the blessing of the Drolma is represented by the blessing pills, the mani pills that you receive later. And these pills are blessed by the Buddha and many Mahasiddhas, many great masters. So the blessings of the Drolma are transmitted also through these blessing pills. So these represent the blessing. So these are the four ways to see the Drolma. And so also, if it is difficult to visualize this entire visualization today, just think that, look at this image, the picture above the Drolma. There's this little picture on top of the Drolma, and think that this picture is the reflection of all the deities that abide in space. So the deities which are always in space are reflected in this picture. And the deities actually are always there, always abide and pervade space. The Sambhogakaya possesses 5 types of certainty, due to which they always are present. They pervade, the Dharmakaya nature of the deities pervade space, and then the Sambhogakaya, all the deities, they are always present wherever space pervades. And then if we supplicate to those deities, then like raindrops falling down, they grant their blessings. So think that these empowerment deities are reflected within this image above the Drolma, and think that then from the Drolma light radiates and it touches your body and purifies all obscurations of body, speech and mind. Then having purified all obscurations, think that you have actually become the actual deity, appearing like a rainbow in the sky.
Drolma was a couple of chap. Then he got Jerem one top songs.
So think that from the Drolma a white light radiates, and this empowers you to practice the generation stage, the visualization of the deity's form. Thus you have obtained the form-based empowerment of the mistress of space, Chokyi Drolma. The obscurations of the body are purified, and you are endowed with the fortune of attaining the nirmana kaya as a result.
Drolma was the member on being good. This come to me, chopping some chicken. Then the money shop, that's a ticket. Then they were hard with any one top song. Got something hard with that, just about the about some song going with it.
So then think that from the throat of the Drolma red light radiates, and think that it pervades like nectar pervades the entire universe, and then it enters into the throat, the speech of beings, and by entering the speech, think that you have received the mantra empowerment to recite the deity's mantra. And this, then think it has the power, you develop the power to perceive all sounds as the sound of mantra. Thus you have obtained the secret speech empowerment of the mistress of space, Chokyi Drolma. The obscurations of speech are purified, and you are endowed with the fortune of attaining the Sambhogakaya as a result. So then for the speech empowerment, think that from space mantra syllables shower down like raindrops falling down, and then think that they enter your speech, and then begin to circle around the white Shri syllable. So think in this way when you repeat the mantra.
Om Mama Sakra Soha Yardu Savandu Raza Razandu Mamandu Hong Pei Soha Om Gama Atita Shora Dharma Dara Mama Sakra Soha 到都是日本人一样，日本记录了，那一个世界报的呢，多几怕他们到是有这个一个有的。
So then later when you receive this little pill, think that within this pill there is a white soluble shrimp like a diamond. So I think that you're thinking this way when you're eating the pill as a whole.
这日本的作家说嘛，都觉得娘的中国的，就没结过的，日本作家你们。
So then also when you receive the pill, you drink it together with the nectar and don't bite on it, but swallow it as a whole.
有种去就这么头吃了必须就往头，一就这把它这个去就光这把现在这把也喏，你头不往这做的呢，上把人经济的咱上他们这个图说的嘞是，来西把他们这图说的上把人经济的，上把经济看就见了哦，上你这里上过来。
And so for the mind empowerment, what is most important is the mind of love and compassion. That is the mind essence of all the wisdom deities. And so whenever it arises in your mind, whenever love and compassion arises in your mind, then that is the actual deity. When there is compassion, also wisdom arises. So it says, thus you have obtained the awareness, wisdom, empowerment of the mind of the mistress of space, Chokyi Drolma. The obscurations of mind are purified, and you are endowed with the fortune of attaining the Dharmakaya as a result. So then the mind empowerment is more significant even than that of the body and speech. And so that is the mind, what is significant is the mind of love and compassion. So when great love and compassion arises in your mind becomes very vast, like space, pervading wherever space pervades. And that is the nature of the Dharmakaya, like space. So we can understand naturally that within space there is no duality. There is only a duality in bodies, but not within the mind. So that is an understanding that we gain. And so when you understand that within space there is no duality, then you have understood the Dharmakaya. As Milarepa had said, when you realize that there is no distinction between the mind and space, you have actualized perfectly actualized the Dharmakaya.
한이 주제도 마음에 이제도 막 관련된 이제 대마송을 자제 이제 보송마 당대 이제 신놈과 이실로 산름명과 두개로 스토르명과 하나 자동 고반나가 이제 하나자 나저와다 저 코도지 보는 거 거기고는 저 로도도 송고고는 저 로도도 토지고는 저 로도도 리조고는 저 로도도 전래저고는 저 그때 이제 뭐라 저런 트렌서 이제 영토벌 남는 집에 띵이 되죠 수마다 개만 저게 그래서 사촉만 섞여 버들려 마이서로 그런 놈으로 소도로로 반대다서 이제 띵데 양만 두고 소도 제일 지하세 딱히다들 뭐도 뭐 자제 이제 뭐라 저 한번 뭐도 원도도 여대다 내가 좀 이제 트렌서 소와로 소와지다 떠봐는데 뭐 로왕 잡았던 분들 전에 저 돈먹는 것도 도밤에 받대 라도 도간들도 이제 얼로 꽂아버리고 라도 밤만 이거 소통제를 잘돼 자기다 되는 거는 갑자기 이제 뭐저 이제 한다 너야 되다 봐라 봐라 어때다 도저 나와서 이제 던지 용수마다 집에 딱집에 되서 차도 제베도 저스만 집에 봐도 저 지금도 또 보라는 또 봐도 되잖아요. 봐도 떨어나라도 지금 맞아. 제 주변만 다시 저 다시 간지 뒤지고 밤에 용대를 진짜 도대체 얼마나 저 대박 누구 파모도 다시 저 오면은 저 너무 받아라서 말은 그때다 봐도 밤마와도 진짜 가로로 저도 봐보죠. 또 이제 파사제대요. 다시 저 도마마다 잡게 봐서 저도 나도 뭐도 뭐죠. 다시 또 사바서 이제 저저야 가는 사바서 이제 주요 먹을 때 또 맞아 쓰는 거 처지죠. 그 뉴인데 다시 좋아지고 가서 넘겨 다시 봐. 가는 놈들 용수만 하면서 이제 저 안에도 이제 모델은 티들을 이제 공연들을 이제 저 군조 선제 등들에 왕소 탐색 종종 등이 나그 탐색 잡으러 망보요에 들라를 하에 등이 탐자종야에 잡을 탐색이 개침보에 가이드는 보면 고속 탐제 냠이 잡으러 망보요에 잡아서 축성이 기본 교제도가 잡아서 축성은 저 답보자야 탐색 지와디 네가 토리던 타서 사지 공방토야 삼지들이 데르랑 냠버리고 쪼니 정제더니 생기 탐지했더니 소차 탐지했더니 삼바된 행제지 공고요지 파마이 봐 공고에 데르 삼바지 이제 강해요를 라긴 봐 좁도 봐지 행제지 드리지 주바 거래 이제 와서 주바니 같이 이게 뒤쪽에 탐지 초도 봐이 드리지 가점이 좀 마사 저서 좀 마사마가 망보셔래 원가게 되지나 돈을 떼와서 주바니 야마더는 문에들이 내가 보이던 사족 사지의 공황 먹어지나 줄을 덮고요. 갑자기 마소는 왕수령 드라마 유령 드라 다 가시 왕조 풀마이라고 왕마이나 주 먹게 지게나 저기 손나 라미는 도를 빼세랬더니 그러다가 사족 생토를 뭐지 그때 인죽세 지디제 지디들이 왕초대도 보도 마음대 뵙죠고요. 또 죽을 못 찾아서 그런 소자 왕초는 이제 뵙 나온지 아주 좀 뭐지 저기 지디제
So then lastly, it said the life force of the empowerment is the Samaya. And so for the Samaya in general, there are many different branch Samayas, and also each deity has their own mantra that we promise to recite and so on. But then what is most important actually is the root Samaya. And so that various of the disciples, you practice all sorts of different practices. But no matter what you practice, the essence of all of these various practices is bodhicitta. The 84,000 different Dharma teachings are included within bodhicitta only. And if you only have that, if you only have love, then as a result, temporarily, you are born in the higher realms and ultimately attain enlightenment. So that is really our root Samaya to keep. It is love. And that begins with those companions that surround you, that always are with you. And then all other sentient beings, all life forms, all beings. We must cultivate love and compassion for them all. So when we regard them all as our parents, that is what we call love. And then when these parent sentient beings encounter difficulties, we want to protect them, and that is compassion. And then also, in order not to lose our love, we need to cultivate patience. And that is really the most supreme commitment of any Sangha. So therefore, we always, many of you have received a refuge vow or bodhisattva vow and so on. And it is actually always the same. And it is therefore also the same when we receive an empowerment. The root samaya, the root commitment of all those vows is love and patience. And if you never separate from that, then temporarily you will always be born in the higher realms, and ultimately you attain enlightenment. Even if you are not wishing for it, you can't help but attain enlightenment. And so often people do not dare to receive an empowerment because of the samaya. But if we do not keep the samaya of love and patience, it actually makes no difference whether or not we have received an empowerment. If you have not received an empowerment and you have no love and no patience and you practice negative, you do negative things, then just naturally you are born in the three lower realms. So to represent our commitment of love and patience, we will repeat in English the prayer for precious bodhicitta to arise. And after having done that, you can come up one by one to receive the empowerment. And it has taken a little bit of a long time. So after you have received the empowerment, then you are free to leave for this evening. So that is so we repeat, do you know what page that is? This one, yeah. So please repeat. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, word is unborn, made arise, word is born, made not decline, but ever increase, higher and higher.
Bây giờ chúng ta lặp lại bằng tiếng Việt câu nguyện phát Bồ Đề Tâm. Bồ Đề Tâm Vương, tâm tối thượng, tâm vô cùng chân quý. Nơi tâm ấy chưa sinh, xin cho tâm ấy nảy sinh. Nơi tâm ấy đã sinh, sinh cho tâm ấy đừng bao giờ thoái chuyển, mà vĩnh viễn, mỗi ngày, mỗi vươn lên cao hơn.
I think we'll just take your time. We'll start here and then you can either sit back or you can leave. So we can make a way here in the middle, please. Mama do do so yan de savan
Later when you come up to receive the empowerment, just so you know, Rinpoche will touch your 3 places, your crown, your throat and your heart. And then also you will receive the pill, so you receive the pill together with the nectar in the palm of your hand, and then you drink it all together, drink the nectar pill without biting on it, and then half of the nectar water, you wipe it onto your crown.
Dạ, thưa một chút nữa, khi mà chúng ta lên nhận quán đảnh từ Rinpoche đó thì Rinpoche sẽ chạm vào 3 nơi ở trên thân của chúng ta, là ở đỉnh đầu, ở cổ họng và ở ngay tâm điểm, tức là ngay tim của chúng ta. Và chúng ta cũng sẽ đón nhận được một viên pháp dược và một chút nước cam lộ. Và khi mà chúng ta đón nhận nước cam lộ và pháp dược thì chúng ta uống chung pháp dược và nước cam lộ với nhau. Và xin nhớ là đừng có cắn cái viên pháp dược đó, mà hãy nuốt trọn vẹn cái viên pháp dược đó với lại nước cam lộ. Và cái phần còn lại của nước cam lộ thì chúng ta bôi lên trên đỉnh đầu của chúng ta.
When you come up, please receive the empowerment mind on top of your head, throat level, heart chakra, sacral chakra. So the 4 points: crown, throat, heart, sacral chakra. Up to Rinpoche, receive the empowerment in 4 chakras: crown, throat, heart, secret chakra. Drink the consecrated nectar water, put on the crown, and then the pills. Swallow the pill whole.
Randa Randa de Mama de Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de
Hello. Dear everyone, before you leave, please kindly leave all daily prayer books back to the table. So thank you very much. Don't take it with you because that's from the center. Thank you.
Randa Randa de Mama de Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Oh Mama Tata So Yan Mama de Home So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Randa Randa de Mama de So Oh Mama Tata So Yan Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De The Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So Mama Sutra So Yan De Sarva Ranja Ranja De Mama De Hom Be So kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama kaso yan sarva ranza de mama de home so mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so oh mama jaka so yande sarva randa randa de mama de home so
Is there anybody going to Washington, D.C.? We need a ride for somebody going back to New York.